Are you a Grinch or Santa? We're talking the Santa Claus rally and the stats behind it, among some other patterns in the market. But today we have a special guest, Afshin Moshfree from TradeWave, to help us with the numbers after the bell. Good. Ooh. Mm-hmm. It's a cowboy Christmas. Let's just say that. Good morning, gents. How are you? As always.
How you doing, Lex?
A little blurry.
Who's he in?
Yeah, you look a little blurry, by the way. Mark, good to see you. How are you?
You too, Santa.
We got to get rid of the Yellowstone theme. So today we got a cool show. So I met Afshin, on the Tradier side. He's going to join us in a second. Really interesting stuff. And I know, Jason, you eat up all this data stuff. But be nice, okay? Be nice to him, all right? It's really cool stuff. And I've been using the product a little bit lately, which I really find easy to use. And he's going to give us a little demo of some of the things he looks at. But he's a big data sort of analyst of sorts, and I'm probably messing that up. I'll let him describe it. But it's kind of neat, some of the things that he comes up with. So what do you think? Kind of cool?
Bring him on.
Sounds great.
Yeah, I feel like I'm going to bring him onto the vultures here. My God, you're scaring me. All right, let's bring on Afshin, and let's talk about the numbers. Afshin, how are you? Good to meet you.
Great. Thank you, Lex.
You're welcome. There's his name that I couldn't pronounce. Say your last name for me, please.
Moshfree.
Moshfree. That seems easy. I get it. Well, thanks for coming on. Well, this is I think this might be the first time we've had a special guest on this show. So this is kind of fun. Mark Phillips up top. He's from Harvest Financial. Jason, Wizard of Ops, and Val.land down below. These are the regular guys. And then, Afshin, you're the guest today. So when you and I met a few weeks ago, I guess it was now, you kind of gave me a little tour of TradeWave and that sort of thing. And you were showing me some of the stats that were popping up. And one of them was the Santa Claus rally, right? Yes. And from memory, my being in the business forever, Mark, I don't know if you have the same experience on the market maker side, but it does seem like that last part of the year, we do have that little rally at the end of the year, the Santa Claus rally, I guess we're calling it. So let's talk a little bit about that. What are you seeing there relative to the numbers? First, though, give us a little background on yourself, I guess we should do. Tell us about TradeWave and you, and we'll get into the numbers.
Well, I really developed TradeWave for myself. I was a part-time retail trader and a technologist, and for years I worked in medical software and then telecom software, and just pure circumstance, I had some time and I developed TradeWave, and it turned out better than I expected. And here we are. Now TradeWave there's nothing like it on the market. And it gives you a serious edge that nobody else can possibly see. You see something nobody sees. And
okay.
It's
Yep, go ahead, sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, I was going to say, so you're telling me that you can analyze data going back, I think you said 100 years or something crazy like that. Is that?
It's 97 years that 97 I have years. On S&P 500 index.
Okay.
That's the longest, but many older stocks I have up to 62 years.
Okay.
And I can analyze, no matter how much data you bring, the analytics engine can analyze it and find patterns. Mm-hmm. It's pure pattern detection platform.
Okay. And it gives you a forward-looking idea based on data of what's statistically possible. Is that safe to say, something like that? Not absolutely has to happen. It can go against the numbers, just like I can lose with pocket aces in poker. I can lose with that, even though it's a pretty strong hand. But same deal here, right? Sort of.
Exactly. It looks at historical patterns and gives you the time frames that a pattern has reoccurred with high probability, and chances are it's going to occur again if the circumstances. Not 100%, but sometimes it hits 90+%.
Okay, great. That's pretty good. And then, are there any hedge funds using your system or your platform at all? Are any pros having a look at this?
Yes, I have several professionals use. I actually am partner in a prop trading firm, which is traded by a ex-hedge fund trader, and we've done just incredible this year. He uses TradeWave not as his pure strategy, but as a verification method, and mostly for when to get out.
Okay.
And he's improved his outcome, according to him, about an additional 25% of winners.
Okay. Awesome.
And there are several other the biggest name, Anne Marie Bind, she is listed as one of the 10 most profitable traders in the world. And she is literally uses this on a daily basis. In one of my shows, she mentioned it to the customers, to the viewers, that she wakes up every morning and the first thing she does is open up TradeWave before she checks her email to see what are the patterns for the day.
Got it.
Another one is Erin West. She's the coach for women, and she does the same exact thing. And she uses it on a daily basis, and she uses it with her students. Because it gives you ideas you would not have seen before.
Okay. Let's do this. Guys, you have any questions before we look at the screen?
Let's look at the screen first. I've got about 8,000 questions.
8,000 questions coming. All right, good.
8,000. I think we're going to be here for a while.
We'll be here for a while. No, that's good. So let's take a look at the screen, and let's go through. I especially want to go through the Santa Claus rally part. And I know you and I, Ashin, have spoken about the presidential year +1, which will be next year, right?
No, that's this year.
This year. Okay, I thought you had a 2026 sort of prediction relative to the data.
That's a PE +2. That's the second year of presidential election cycle.
Got it. All right. So let's do this. Let's go through this a little bit. Why don't you give us a little tutorial of what we're looking at, and kind of brief and show us what's going on here with the TradeWave platform.
Sure. You want me to talk about Santa Claus rally?
Yeah, let's do that first. That's kind of what we teed up. Let's see what statistically the Santa Claus rally looks like.
Sure. The thing about Santa Claus rally, everybody's heard about Santa Claus rally, but most people, if they trade it, they trade it like as if it's a rumor, not as if it's something data backed. So I am actually going to go to S&P 500. I've already teed this up, and I will explain what it is that we're going to look at.
Right.
Here's the actual Santa Claus rally. If you would have traded the day after Christmas until the 3rd of January of the following year, and if you look at the last 20 years, it doesn't look very good. What you're looking at right now is you have this date range right up here, right up there, and what you're looking at is if you would have bought S&P 500 on the 26th, or SPY in this case, and sold at the close on the 3rd, this would have been your gain and loss, and you would have lost 60% of the years for the last 20 years. So that
sucks for sure.
That's terrible. So this is what happens if you just traded like a rumor. With TradeWave, I found this.
Okay.
So what we're looking at is December 20th until January 7th of the year after presidential election. So this is every 4 years. If you see 1929, 1933, 1937, I'm not looking at every year. I'm just looking at PE plus 1 years. Look at what happened. Since 1985, every single year, it's been a winner.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a winner 88% of the years since 1929. The only years that's lost were 1961, 77, and 81. But even 77, it went up 3.43% first before it dropped. So I would count that as a winner. So this pattern is 92% successful in nearly last 100 years.
And that's from December 20th through a few days into the new year. Is that what you said?
7th of January. So just take a look at, that's the exact date range.
I got you. Okay.
I put
guys, so far so good, Mark and Jason? Or do you want to jump into it? Nope, good. Okay.
I understand.
Okay, cool.
So you can also take a look at this every single year for this date range that I just showed you. Now I'm just selecting 97 years. This is the same exact date range. And you can see that date range is also 81% of the years was profitable. You can see that percentage here on the bottom, or you can go in the middle and get the detailed data. It was successful 79 out of the last 97 years.
Got it. Okay.
It didn't do well in 2024, but it went up 2% and then closed down 0.37. But the date range is very valid.
Got it. Okay. Interesting.
But I care more about PE plus 1 years, because one thing that I've shown, and by the way, I have a book called The 100-Year Pattern that I've shown that presidential election year has a very strong effect over the broader markets and some very select stocks that are high volume stocks, actually high cap stocks.
Okay. Now you're showing us a market pattern at large, right? A broader market.
Yes.
Does TradeWave allow you to analyze data on individual stocks?
Absolutely. That's what it does.
Okay.
If you look on the left here, these are all the markets and stock groups that TradeWave follows, from Dow 30, NASDAQ, S&P, all the way down to indices, Wilshire, futures and commodities and everything, even some foreign stocks and crypto also. Okay. So I'm going to go to S&P 500 stocks. I typically use this group of stocks because, well, I do.
Okay, fair enough.
So what you're looking at on the left is the analytics engine has found, it actually does crunch around 1 trillion number points and comes up with a list of the best patterns that start today. And today is December 18th.
Okay.
And as you can see, right now we have selected 10 years. So based on the last 10 years, AJG is the best, Arthur Gallagher.
Okay.
And RSG and so on. And as you can see, these are patterns that starts today. And then this is the number of days for the patterns. However, the number of days could be any number. You see 246, 275, then it drops to 20.
Yep.
If I want to do short-term trading, I can say I'm going to do 0-30.
Okay.
And now I'm just looking at patterns that are at the max 30 days long.
Got it. Okay. And it tells you in that direction column, which is right in the middle, long or short, I think, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Mostly long is what I'm seeing.
Only 2 shorts right now.
So just as an exercise, okay, guys, I tried this. I was looking over his shoulder when he was talking to me on a call once, and UNH came up when you showed it to me, and it was 30 days. And I said, Afshin, I'm gonna get long using options with UNH. Okay, and it was I don't remember the exact stock price when I first did it, but literally within the time period, that stock went up $30. Honest to God. So I had this funky upside butterfly on, mixed strikes, something crazy I dreamt up. I ended up I looked at it again after the term was over. It didn't have much, more oomph. It looked like I changed it into a short call spread, right? So took off the profitable side and left the short call spread, and it kind of expired worthless. And I got a little double hitter there. So kind of like a double. So thank you for that, Afshin. I used your data to kind of come up with one of those that worked for me.
Awesome. I'm glad that worked out.
Yeah.
Now, the biggest news I have, by the way, I have been extremely bullish on the stock market since January 2023. And I've made these videos that proves it, and they are on my YouTube channel. As of second week of January 2026, for the first time in 3 years, I am extremely bearish. I think next year is going to have a chance of a bear market and possibly a severe bear market.
Oh boy, now you said the nasty words to the retail folks.
Well, I'm just saying this. There are two ways to deal with it. You can use TradeWave to navigate it, and I can show. I mean, I think that NVIDIA has a chance of dropping between 30 to 80%.
Oh my God, I'm on NVIDIA right now.
And I'm glad this is being recorded. I mean, if NVIDIA drops 80%, they are still a $1 trillion company. So, but I'm not just making this up. I am backing it up by data, and I can show you CPE plus to NVIDIA. I've already found these. By the way, any patterns you can find, you can always store it in a portfolio. And I can show you the NVIDIA. This is based on PE plus 2 years. NVIDIA does terrible. Look at this. From 21st of March until 30th of July, it's gone down all of these years. Look at it. In 2022, went down 31. It went on additional 16. So 46, 47%. The other years, it went down about 15%. 2014, it didn't go down as much, but 2010, 47%. Another over 30%. 66% in 2002 during this period of time. So chances are this is the time that NVIDIA is going to be very bad for NVIDIA, really. And another thing I can show you is, I think you and I looked at was it CVX? Yes. Look at this. CVX is very strong right now. It's going up. You see, this is PE plus 1 year. Then it peaks right there. And look at what happens after 7th of January next year. There is a huge cliff. And by the way, what you're looking at is, I call this the trend chart. It takes every single year that we're analyzing, and it does a trend averaging. So the direction is the average trend of all the years combined. So very strong, very weak, going down here. I can even select it and show you. I'm telling you, next year is not going to be pretty. And this is typical of PE plus 2 years, which is midterm election years, are usually weak. However, when you add the fundamentals of what's happening to the economy plus a P plus 2 years, it increases the probability of a bad year happening.
Okay.
But I have good news after that.
After September, you said, I think, right?
Yes. I have written a book that's called The 100-Year Pattern. And the name of the entire book is after a pattern that I discovered that's never been documented ever. And I call it the 100-Year Pattern. It's this.
Mm-hmm.
I have discovered a pattern that starts, look at this, 27th of September of a midterm election year.
Mm-hmm.
It lasts for 295 days until July 18th of the following year. This pattern, the market has gone up every single year since 1930. That was the last time it dropped.
Mm-hmm.
It's not lost at all. And nobody has ever found this before or documented it.
Mm-hmm.
I've also found that about 68% of the overall cumulative return of S&P 500 is due to this period.
Got it.
So what I'm saying is this: market's going to be very weak, down, and statistically and historically, things will turn after September 27th of next year.
Okay. Got it. So, guys, Jason, you said you had some questions earlier. You want to go through a few of those?
Sure. Are your patterns only based on price returns, or are you doing fractals of underlying metrics like
This is
GDP
just
growth
price
or
return.
anything like that? Just price
Yes.
returns?
Just price, nothing
Okay.
else.
So other than presidential election years, have you ever found any causation for this? Like, is there some kind of trading flow of an institution or something like that it says like midterms, do you ever find causation for the patterns that you find?
I don't look for causations, but I have come up with causation for some of them. Some of them has to do with the overall, with when earnings are announced. Some of them have to do with year-end window dressing and basically time-based because, for example, people get paid monthly and they might be investing in their own stock or certain stocks at certain times of the year. But exact reasons is not something that I was after.
Yeah. So like NVIDIA, though, it lost 80%, but at the time they were not an AI company. I'm not saying they can't lose 80%, but at the time they were like a graphics company, graphics cards and stuff like that. So they're a completely different business than they were when they lost 80%. Again, not saying I'm bullish in NVIDIA. I'm actually not, but I'm just saying, like, I don't know. When it comes to these historical charts, I always wonder how deep historically you go, and it seems like it's just price returns.
It's just.
Do you do any standard deviations or anything like that? Like, do you do any standard deviation analysis?
I don't do analysis, but I report it.
Mm-hmm.
So if you go to the middle screen of this, you can always see standard deviation, median.
Ah, cool. So you have descriptive statistics?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So
Cool.
that's the idea of actually finding patterns inside of the price data itself, and then presenting that. And I'm not saying this is going to happen. I am saying that here's what's happened before. Use this as a point of reference.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. When you say your wave info, and I see you have like a Sharp ratio there.
Yes.
What is that? is that based on like bond returns, or what is that based on?
Well, when you calculate the Sharpe ratio, you have to have the free market returns as one of the inputs of Sharpe ratio. So that's used right now. It's 4%, I think I'm using to calculate the Sharpe ratio. And the rest of it is based on the percentage gain for each of these bars.
I see. So I guess my next question is, I mean, you're showing right now the presidential election plus 2 years for the past 100 years. By the way, that kind of scares me. It's only like a couple years away from our next Great Depression, I guess. But like, how do you select, that it's a PE plus 2 years pattern for every 4, or do you do every year? Because I mean, you just had a chart where you showed like the middle area of the Santa Claus rally is all negative. How do you select your pattern thresholds, I guess? Like, why are you doing PE plus 2 and not PE plus 2.5 or something like that?
Oh, I do PE plus 2, and then I adjust the window to a PE plus 2.5. It's just a measure of years. It's easy to comprehend, at least to myself, that I'm going to the first year of presidential election, second year, third year, and so on. And then I can adjust the window inside of that. It's just easier to comprehend, mainly for myself.
I see. Okay.
When this was designed, I'm telling you, I designed this for myself. Originally, this was something I had thought about, I don't know, 20 years ago, and then I got opportunity to have some time to build it.
Cool.
Very cool. And then, and you have an offer. As you can probably imagine, Afshin is a new partner at Tradier, so he's connecting this thing to the APIs, et cetera, is going to offer it commercially. Is there a special offer we can hear about, or do we have a link of some kind that we can show?
Yes, there is an offer. I can.
Look at me. I'm always like selling stuff. Luis, can you throw that through there, or somebody? There's a special offer.
Tradier Santa is the special deal that Lex talked me into. So
it's so the code is Tradier Santa, TRADIER Santa, and you visit TradeWave.ai to get a hold of this, right?
Right. You want to get the institutional monthly. The institutional monthly has this special for trading.
Okay, excellent. Make sure you sign up for that. By the way, the Santa outfit is really warm. I'm just figuring this out. It's very hot with the fur around my neck in here. These lights on and everything. Great. All right, guys. Well, good. That's awesome. Very, very interesting stuff. And remember to select institutional monthly on the plan. And I'm sure Afshin would maybe get Mark and Jason a little look at it as a little demo if you guys wanted that. Sure. That's what I did. So it's very cool. And as always, thanks for coming on and explaining all this. This is really interesting. Although I'm a little scared now about the middle part of next year with the crush. That's making me nervous. We'll come back to you if it happens. All right. We may tie you up and have to do something.
I actually I have friends and relatives who ask me, what should we do? And I tell them, just be conservative for next year, maybe be in gold until end of September, or use TradeWave, because then it'll help you navigate it. And if I'm wrong, you've just lost some profits. But if I'm right, you've saved a lot of money.
Right. I love it. Okay, cool. You should adopt this to like playing Texas Hold'em with all the card combinations and have the cheat sheet, right?
Exactly. Yeah, that's a great idea.
All right. Oh, before you go, we're gonna let you go here in a second. But I did give Afshin a little mind bender for himself. I told him that one of our partners is doing some interesting things on a daily basis, statistically predicting stock price movements intraday and even within minutes, kind of thing, and does very well at it. And that got him all noodled, and now he's trying to figure that out, right, Afshim? So
you
losing sleep
put a bug on in me. So I'm gonna work on this, and we'll have a intraday TradeWave version coming out sometime next year, which is gonna be crazy.
All right, cool. Well, thanks for coming on and explaining all this to us. We appreciate it. We're going to let you go now, and you have a great Christmas, a great Santa Claus rally, and a Happy New Year, okay?
Thank you, and happy holidays to everyone.
Thanks. Appreciate it. Good to see you, and we'll talk soon, you and I. Take care.
Good.
All right, bye, buddy. All right, guys. We're back. So, what do you think?
Interesting. Nope. Bye, Lex. I don't hear him. Is this me? Is this my problem?
No, it's not your problem.
Oh. Now he's quiet. Now somebody walking in the background.
Yeah, someone's walking in the background. I only do this every Thursday. Yeah, that's kind of interesting. You know, I've looked at it. I've pounded around on the platform a good bit. I've actually put on trades using it too. So I've done real live trades. And mostly pretty good, I must admit. There's one I didn't get, but I got out of it for break even because I didn't like the feel of it. It was just me getting out. I could probably ultimately be right if I stayed with it, but I'm a baby. Typical scared to death Lex of losing. But what am I going to say? Mark was very quiet on that one.
Oh, there was a lot to digest there, and I think Jason jumped all over it with a lot of good questions. So
yeah,
I was just taking it in.
Taking it in. No, that's okay because you know
he told me to ask questions, so
I know that's good. But taking all that in, the market's up 80. Spoos are up 88. Holy! What news came out? Is this the start of the Christmas rally or the Santa Claus rally?
Well, it's CPI, but I was kind of looking at this yesterday. There was a lot of put buying, so I think that's boosted markets a little bit. Got it. All right. Well, I've got to do some damage control now on one of my spreads. Oh,
don't touch it, right, Mark?
No. Well, I have no idea, but
well, if you wait 2 days, then it'll be bullish again, according to TradeWave.
Guess what? I don't have 2 days because it's expiring today. Oh my God! I'm gonna get myself in trouble. Why am I even touching this? This is crazy. All right, guys. Well, you guys have a good holiday. I know we're going to be off for Christmas and we're going to be off for New Year's because they're both Thursdays, which we do the show on. Those won't be anything. I don't think. I think we were off. Just the markets closed. Period. So nothing. And we'll see you in the new year. So you guys have a great holiday and a great Happy New Year. Cool.
Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.
Mark, what else should we be doing?
Well, happy holidays and happy trading.
Happy trading. All right, boys. See ya.
You know how the financial world goes. Here comes the buzzkill. Please make sure to take some time to read this boring disclaimer. We will owe you one.